Dear Diary, this is a little bit harder than I thought.
Is that enough?
See, no one told me getting a divorce was going to affect my motivation and the way I do things in just my day-to-day life. Everything has changed for me, and I feel like this is, I don't know, it's a part of the journey of me getting to where I know I'm supposed to be, but it's a really weird space to be in, and I'm going to try my best to describe and explain exactly what I'm going through at the moment. Now, one thing that I will say has been helping me a lot is therapy. Shout out to my therapist, he's amazing. He has helped me figure out so many emotions, and he's validated so many feelings for me that if I didn't have my therapy, honestly, if I didn't have my therapy, because one thing I will say, during this whole entire process of me getting a divorce and what have you, I haven't spoken to anybody about it. I don't speak to my friends about it. I don't speak to my family about it. Just for a few reasons. One, none of my friends or family have been through a divorce or have gone through a divorce. So I just kind of, I don't really want to speak how I'm feeling to them just because I don't know if they're really gonna get it. And a lot of my friends and family didn't even like my ex. So why am I talking to them about how sad I am going through my divorce with someone I didn't even like anyway? So speaking to my therapist about it, oh, beautiful, I'll tell you that. And while we're here, this video is in partnership with BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online therapy service which I personally use. This is how I found my therapist, and I couldn't recommend it anymore just because I'm the type of person that doesn't really like to speak to people face to face. I'm not really a people person, believe it or not. I'm not really a people person, and with BetterHelp I'm able to speak to my therapist through video call. You can also speak to them over the phone or via text message. All you do when you go to the website is you fill out a short questionnaire, and they'll use this questionnaire to find you a credentialed therapist in no time. And if you don't feel like your therapist that you've been matched with is a good fit for you, you can always change your therapist at no extra cost. So you're not just stuck with someone they've paired you with and that's it. You can change your therapist as many times as you like. They're trained to give you unbiased and helpful advice, and that is why I love speaking to my therapist, because like I said, he always has the right thing to say. He always has something to say as well to everything I say. I remember in one session I was venting about something, and I was basically expressing that I didn't want to tell someone how I felt, and all he asked me was why. And that question alone, I didn't even know how to answer it. I sat there actually like, hold on a minute, why? And he just made me realize that the way I view things and the way I do things and the way I react to things sometimes, like why? It's the most simplest thing, but it changed the way I looked at that particular situation, and then I ended up taking his advice and expressing how I felt, and I'm glad I did it. I think for a lot of us, therapy can be scary because it's like, I don't need to speak to people about my problems because then it seems like something might be wrong with me. Well, no. It ain't nothing got to be going on. Sometimes it's just nice to have someone to talk to. You don't have to be necessarily going through something or experiencing trauma or, you know, just to get therapy. You could be great. I feel like therapy is for everyone. It doesn't matter what you're going through, what walk of life you're walking. Therapy can be beneficial to everyone. So honestly, if you're considering online therapy, use the link in my description box. This link will support my channel, but it will also get you 10% off your first month with BetterHelp. So I just want to give a shout out to BetterHelp and thank you for supporting my channel. Now you see me, I'm a big woman, I am grown, we all know this, but this is my first time ever living alone. I've always lived with my mum, brother and sister, and straight from my mum's house it was to live with my man. So I've never had my own journey of life alone, you can say. And I say alone loosely because obviously right now I'm not technically alone. I have Aaliyah here with me, but she's only 3. And it doesn't really, it's not the same. It's not the same as I've always lived with an adult, whether that be my mum or whether that be my man. Like, I've never done adult life alone. And they don't tell you about this. When I say they, I don't know who they is, but I wasn't told about how this is gonna be. And to be honest, I did think about it. When I was going through my separation, I did think of, okay, I'm by myself now. But in my mind, everything that I thought would be a challenge for me, I wasn't necessarily getting that taken care of within my marriage, if that makes sense. For example, like bills or decorating or things like that. Like I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm all by myself now, I'm not going to be able to decorate or something because that's something I used to do with my ex. Well, no. In my mind, I'm thinking, well, I did all the decorating anyway. I was able to pay bills all by myself anyway. And with the whole bills thing, if you've seen my story times, you know that I was saying like I paid bills by myself and what have you, but that wasn't for the whole duration of the relationship. I want to make that clear. So there was a period of time that I was paying for everything, but that wasn't for the whole entire relationship. And the last place that I lived at with my ex, that was a 50-50. So going from 50-50 to now, I have to do everything. And I'm just like, can I have a little assistance, please? It's the little things you don't even realize. Oh, like freaking Netflix. I have to pay for my own Netflix account now. It's ghetto. I've never paid for Netflix in my life. I have to take out the trash, bitch. Like, it was bin day today and I've got 2 trash cans downstairs, 1 in my bedroom, 1 in my ensuite, 1 in the main bathroom. That's a lot of rubbish that I've got to take out. And I've not taken... I know these are silly little things, but when you're put in a position now where you're just like, hold on a minute, these are things that I've never had to do in my life and I didn't really clock it. I didn't really realize it. And it's stressful. It's very stressful. I won't even lie to you. A lot of times I sit here scared, wondering, where am I going to end up? What am I going to do with my life? Am I able to still succeed and chase goals that I have? It just, sometimes it feels impossible, I won't lie. And I make these videos not for advice. I don't make these videos for anyone to like help me or tell me what to do or give me encouraging words. I make these videos just to share what I'm going through as I'm going through it, in hopes that if any of you are going through the same thing, you can maybe take some comfort from these videos and you can relate and realize you're not alone. Being in a marriage or just a long-term relationship in general, in my case it was 12 years of my life, you become so accustomed to a certain way of life, you become accustomed to a person, and anything else, you're just kind of foreign to it. You're very foreign to it. So a lot of things that I didn't realize would be hard on my own is pretty hard on my own. And then one of the big reasons why I always get so scared and I feel so confused, and sometimes I just freeze up because I am 33 years old. I'm in my 30s already. So I'm just like, I'm in my 30s. Like, how do you start again at this age are questions I ask myself. A lot of things that I didn't do while I was in my relationship, I'm trying to do now. And I'm just like, can I even do certain things now? It's like, I feel like I've waited too long. I should have done this in my 20s, or I should have did this. Like, a lot of things that I feel like I should have done maybe a decade ago and I didn't get to do, I'm trying to do now. And I'm just like, is there any point? What is the point? What is the point of even trying? Why don't I just go and live a normal, humble life, raise a Leah, and just, that's it. Like, I've had my moment and it is what it is. New life, style, new chapter now. But it's not what I want to do, and it's annoying because, and a lot of that feeling comes from, what if I don't succeed? The feeling of not succeeding is amplified by like a million, because before there's always that possibility. There's always a possibility of things won't go the way you want them to go and you might have to change path and change direction. But when you're with someone, especially someone that you feel like you're going to be with for the rest of your life, like you think you're going to be with this one person for the rest of your life, you not only feel more secure and have a bit more security, but if you believe in them, you have a sense of calmness. Because even if financially the relationship wasn't where it needed to be financially, and I wasn't being like looked after as like a stay-at-home wife, I guess you can say, but there was always that thought of, well, I believe in him, I believe in his career, I believe he can succeed, I believe he can make a bunch of money and look after us and do all of this. When you've got that belief, there's always that fallback. So it's like, if I fail, or if my career doesn't take off how I want it to take off, at least he has this, right? Or even, not even what he's got going on, even if we need to be bailed out of something, there's more people to help. Like there's his family or his friends or his people that he knows. There's always double the people, double the security, and it's just more, I don't know, it's just more of a safety thing. And I'm a tourist, and we really like security. We like our safety and our security, and we just like things to be a certain way. So I've always felt a bit content in that. So to not have that anymore and realize, hold on a minute, it's actually just me. If I fuck up, it's me. There is no one to bail me out. There is no one to fall back on. There is no security blanket. And having that security blanket taken away has been pretty difficult to navigate for me personally, just because now I feel kind of like I have a lot against me. I feel like the goals that I have and the things that I want to achieve, I should have did that in a younger time in my life. And there's nothing I can do about that now. I can't go back in time. I can't, you know, reverse anything. It is what it is. The reality is I'm 33, starting over again, all by myself, and I'm still trying to chase certain career goals. And not only am I trying to chase these career goals now, I'm trying to chase these career goals now with a kid in the mix. So it's just like, what do I do? Do I still think of me, or do I just, like I said, live a humble life and raise a kid? And you see me, I've never been someone that's needed help. I've never liked to ask for help, and I've never liked to say that I'm having problems. I don't ask for help. I just do everything myself. I figure it out. And that's one thing I like about me. I've always figured it out. I've been able to live a life that I've kind of orchestrated myself, if that makes sense. Like every place I've been to or every position I've been in, I feel like I've put myself there. No one helped me, no one gave me handouts, no one brought me in. I just feel like everything that I've done it because I've made that happen. And because of that, I feel like people view me in a way where it's like, Dainá doesn't need help. Dainá's got this. There's nothing I can do to help Dainá because Dainá knows what she's doing. And it's a blessing and a curse at the same time, because it's a blessing because I like looking put together. You think I'm ever about to be out here looking like a hot ass mess? No. I'm glad that I make this shit look good and I make this shit look easy. But on the other hand, it's like, damn, I wish someone would offer me some help. I wish someone would step in and ask me if I'm okay. And not having that, it makes me go into a bubble. Like not having that, I zone out. I can't tell you how many times I've sat on this very bed with the lights red. I didn't even mean for that to rhyme, and I just sit here and I'm just zoned all the way out of the world, out of what's going on around me, out of everything, out of these bills, out of these responsibilities, out of even eating, out of even just looking after myself. And I just sit there hoping it will go away. But I'm here to tell you, it won't go away. So get up and do what you gotta do. And I gotta tell myself this every day: get up and do what you gotta do, because no one is going to care. And even if someone is there to help, don't rely on nobody. That's one thing that this whole entire process, I guess, from going from being in a marriage to being single, this whole thing has shown me that even if there are people around, don't rely on nobody ever. Please. I know it's harsh. Anything can happen. Relationships end. People disappear. God forbid, people die. So you can't really rely on anyone but yourself. If you need something done, you've got to do it yourself. If you need to learn something, you've got to go and teach yourself. Like there's even things I've been learning about renting and landlords and all that sort of stuff, because this is my first time ever renting a place on my own. And these aren't things I used to care about or get into before when I was with my ex. I wasn't like reading through the contracts and I'm just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I feel like a mere innocent teenage girl. Okay, I'm a child. Yet I'm just being faced with all these adult problems that I'm not used to being faced with, and I have to learn quick. And it's no one else's fault but my own, because when I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, why was I never taught about this? Why didn't they teach us these things in school? Why didn't I learn any of this stuff from my parents? Or why didn't I, like certain things, I'm just sitting here thinking, why didn't I? But hold on a minute, no, actually, not everybody has the luxury. Not everyone has the luxury of someone showing you step by step how to do certain things. No one has the luxury of, you know, being looked after in a way where most things are done for you. Not everyone has that. And for the people that do, listen, I'm happy for you, really I am. But for the people that don't, and for people like me, get your shit together. Pattern your shit. But I'm gonna tell you now, if you're in a long-term relationship or in a marriage or what have you, pattern your shit, because it can come to an end. I'm not hoping it does, but it can. And when it does, and you're just put out into the wilderness and you don't know what you're doing, yeah, you're gonna be happy that you patterned your shit while you was in your relationship, because I didn't pattern my shit while I was in a relationship, and now I'm over here trying to figure it all out like a newborn baby. That's how I feel. Like I'm just trying to figure it out. Like I've just been put into a situation where I know nothing and I've got to learn everything, but learn fast, because I've also got a child that's reliant on me, so you know. And then even to touch on the divorce itself, it's such a long process. I didn't realize it was going to be such a long process. I think I first filed in summer. I can't remember the exact month. Was it May or April I filed? I had to wait all the way till November to then do a, what's it called? I think it's called a conditional order. And then after I've done that, I have to wait all the way till the end of December to get, what is it? I think a confirmation of that to then do the divorce. And it's long. And I'm telling you, when I got the email that it was time for me to do the conditional order, I got quite emotional, because I'm like, oh my gosh, why do I have to keep being reminded of the fact that I'm going through divorce? I don't want to be reminded by filling out papers. And there was something on the form that said, read your ex's response. And I'm thinking, why do I have to read his response? It's too much waiting, it's too much longness. And obviously I've never been through divorce before, so I didn't know how long it would take or what the process would be. I thought it would have been pretty simple, because we didn't have any assets to split, we didn't have any kids custody to worry about. So I thought it just would have been boom. But nah, it ain't just boom. And it did bring up memories, and it did trigger things, and I did get emotional. And like I said, when I'm in that space, like I don't really speak to anybody about it. And it's easy to just wanna stop and give up and just completely switch life as you know it, because you want something different, you want something else. You don't want anything to do with your old life anymore. And it is rough, but I am getting through it. I'm in a very good space right now, which is why I'm even able to turn on the camera and make this video, because I'm in a very good space right now, in terms of where I'm going, what I need to do, all the goals that I want to achieve. But even that, it is quite lonely when you work from home. And I want to say to anybody, if any of you work from home, try and find a space where you can work, even if that's a Starbucks or sorry, not Starbucks, we boycotting them. Even if it's a coffee shop, a cafe, library, somewhere that you can take your works out of your house, do so. Trust me, because I've worked from home for such a long time, and even now, me filming this video in my house, this is me working from home, and I don't want to. It's hard to get out of your head and feel like you're being productive or you're making moves when you're in your house, especially your house that you're now in by yourself and you've never lived alone before. Because right now, I'm by myself in my house. Aaliyah's at nursery, so I'm just in my house by myself. It reminds me of the fact that I'm by myself. And it doesn't motivate you to work. You don't want to work. Luckily for me, my type of work, I feel like I'm just talking to you guys. I'm having a conversation. I'm just expressing how I feel and how I felt. And it's a little bit easier. But when it gets to like other content and doing other things and radio work, and when I'm trying to edit my videos and I'm trying to do music and all that sort of, I can't do it from the house, you know. I really can't do it from the house. And that is why I'm working on getting my own studio space together right now, so I can go to work, get out of this space, not feel like I'm just a lonely loser, okay? And I know I'm not a lonely loser, but sometimes, like I said, it's easy to feel like a lonely loser. So that is one thing I do recommend for anyone that works from home, and especially has gone through a breakup from a very long relationship or marriage. I would definitely recommend finding a space to work outside of your house. Sorry if this video was all over the place. I do feel like I have been rambling and I didn't write down. Usually I write down some of my thoughts in bullet points just so I have a structure to a video, but this time I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna turn on the camera and just speak. So hopefully this video made sense and you wasn't struggling to follow along, but that's where I'm at right now. Currently, I've been using my therapy to help. I've also been trying to figure out different ways to solve some of my problems. One of them being finding the space to work outside of my home so I'm not driving myself insane over here. Also, self-care. I was very, very big on my self-care when I first ended my marriage, and I fell off somewhere along the line. I don't know why I fell off, but I'm getting back on that because that helps a lot also. Just taking care of yourself. And that's as simple for me as eating, because I don't eat always, and I know that's bad, but I've been making it a habit now to eat breakfast every single morning, and I've been doing it. Eating my breakfast every single morning, making sure I'm looking after myself from the inside and the outside, so as well as, you know, doing my hair, doing all that sort of stuff, facials. I always get my nails done now, and even that, because I used to do nails myself, so I would be able to do my nails at home anyway, but sometimes I'd be lazy and I wouldn't want to do it. I always go to my nail tech to get my nails done, even if I don't need them doing. It's just the little things like that really do help within. It helps you feel better about yourself, funny or not. It helps you feel more productive, funny or not. Having my nails done helps me feel more productive. So it's just like little things I've implemented into my life to make sure I'm always on job, because you gotta be on job. Listen, who else you gonna have? Even if this video has reached one person and it's resonated with one of you, I'm happy. I hope you guys are keeping safe, keep blessed, and I will see you soon.